Good day. This is Dr. Jewa Lea with day 9 of the Whole Heart Living series. And today I wanted to go a little bit more into the heart-brain interaction I spoke of in a couple of the videos prior, that your heart and your brain interact, but also that your heart interacts with other people's brains. Did you know that? Well, Heart Math Institute in Northern California has done research, and one of the things that they did was to measure the heart rhythm of one person with an electrocardiogram. And then they measured the brain waves of a person in close proximity with an electrocephalogram, which measures brain waves. And what they found was that the patterns matched. So when you are emoting and sending signals through your heart, they affect other people to the point where it actually changes the brain activity in the person that you're in close proximity to, further enhancing that whole dynamic of the electromagnetic field that's generated by someone when they're feeling positive emotion, how it expands and contracts with a negative emotion. Now, I have a story that I'd like to share with you that I experienced, probably like 15 years ago. And it was my first time having this experience that I could really recall because it was so significant. And I remember it so vividly because it was such a life-changing thing for me. And I want to introduce the person that's responsible for this. Come here, Simone. This is my daughter.
Hi, guys.
Hi. When she was 2 years old, we were walking through a mall, and she was walking ahead of me, and I was with her dad, my husband at the time, and all of a sudden, she raises her hands up, and now this girl, when she talks, first of all, it's taking her much effort to be quiet right now, because when she talks really fast and really loud. So even at 2, when she raised her hands up, and at the top of her voice said, "I love my life," I remember how I felt in that given moment. I felt like there was like this sonic boom came, the pulse wave went through my body. And I actually felt like I rocked back on my heels when it happened. And I remember that things were moving like in slow motion. When I recall it, it's like, things slowed down. And I was watching the expressions of the people all around when it was happening. And there was a man who kind of grimaced. And then there was a woman who smiled and said, "Yeah, you go, girl." And I remember feeling, wow, I wish I felt like that. I remember, it made me think, well, do I love my life? Or because the feeling was so more intense and elevated than what I was feeling at that time. And so what happened now that I understand this is that pulse wave went out from that little heart, but there was a big pulse wave. And the electromagnetic field that you generated was large, and it hit everybody. And then the pulse wave from your heart registered in other people's brains. And depending on what they were feeling at the time was how they responded. Now, I could feel an immediate shift, like this was more elevated than I was feeling. So it was kind of like a jarring thing for me. And I think that the guy, this is just in theory, the guy who grimaced didn't look like he was happy before she said it, and it just intensified because it was such a disparity between what you were emoting and what he was emoting. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, so she can speak. And the woman who was like, yeah, you go, girl, she was a happy, she was smiling already when she was, walking towards us. And it just kind of supported her feeling, all that. So, I just remember that being such a huge shift for me, because I was like, I want to feel what you're feeling. And see how she's smiling all the time? This is what I live with. It's not a bad thing, is it?
No.
Yeah, she still loved her life. Very much?
Very much.
You can speak.
I still love my life very much.
So, heart bombs. Have you felt it? I mean, have you been around people and they just emote such positivity that you can feel it and want to feel that too? There's a reason for that, and that's because you're experiencing in your brain the signals from their heart. So the heart, once again, is doing so much more than we think. And we'll go even more in depth. See, we'll go even more in depth about the heart as in the coming days. This is just day 9. We have, what's 28 minus 9? Come on, quick.
11,
20.
No, wait, no, that's okay.
19. 19 more days.
It's not.
Yes, it is. 28.
Oh, wait, yeah, it is.
And she's going to engineering school in the fall, y'all. Oh, gosh. I put it on the spot. Anyway, too many calculators in public school. I say, all right, that's all I have to say.
You're not wrong.
All right, so how many heart bombs are you going to let off today and affect the brains of other people? I challenge you to set off a heart bomb so intense that you shift the consciousness of somebody in your world today. All right, this is Dr. Jewa Lea signing off, day 9 of the Whole Heart Living series. Bye.
Bye, guys.